Next, let's go to Bitcoin, right? Okay, so from weekly time frame, we are still stuck inside this range, and this is the first time, if you check the previous price action here, okay, it's the first time where we had this small consolidation. So we have been inside these two areas, 18 to 20K, right, for like 4 or 5 weeks. Okay, usually you can see big movements, right? Big movements. Okay, so this is it. But this is the first time. Here we go. You can check it out all over the place. That's the first time we had this small consolidation for a long period of time. So the breakout like from this area would be massive. Okay, so let's see which way it's going to break. We might break above the 20K. In this case, we'll be trading higher. And if you zoom in, you can see it even better. So that's basically it. So usually from weekly, you can go for, if you want, let's go for a line. Here we go. That's the upper bound, and that's around the 18K. Okay, let's see which way it's going to be broken. Now, if you go to daily time frame, we can see that we have had a range previously, a bigger one. And then lately, for the past 4 weeks, we have been stuck inside a smaller range between what? 20K and 18K. Okay, so from a long-term perspective, of course, obviously, if you break below this 18K, expect more pain, more bearish movement downwards. And if we break above the 20K, 2500, which is around this area, which we can see better from daily, we'll be expecting a short-term bullish movement because we've got this minor support and resistance. Okay. But if we break above it, then expect further bullish movements till our supply zone 30K and so on. But for now, and as I always say, let's take it step by step. If we zoom into H4 time frame, okay, let me zoom out a little bit, and then here we go. Okay, so on H4 time frame, this is our smaller range, right, that we saw from daily. And inside this smaller range, so bigger range, smaller range, and inside it, we've got a smaller range, okay? So a range inside a range inside a range. So of course, like this is a short term, this is medium term, and this is long term, okay? If we break below this one, right here, the bears will take over from a short-term perspective. If we break below this lower area, the bears will take over from a long-term perspective. If we break above this little area, the bulls will take over from a short-term perspective. But then we might reject this area again and trade lower and break the 18K downward. Okay, that's why it's very important to take it step by step. Just like USDT dominance, you can draw a channel or a trend line or like a symmetric triangle. Let's see how it goes. We can't really know what the bottom one like would be, but for now we can draw these two forming as a like a falling trend line. If we get a lower low now, we will be able to draw this trend line down there. Okay, but for now let's wait and see what happens. Let's read this one and let's go to H1. That's it. Okay, so this is the zone that we saw from H4 time frame. That's it. Okay, previous high, exact same thing as USDT dominance. If you break it upward, that's why you see my alert right here. That's why you see my alert right here as well. If we break below this little area, we'll be expecting a short-term bearish movement. This is our demand zone, which is the exact opposite on USDT dominance. We had a supply zone, right? So if we break it down, chances are that we might drop lower to fill this demand before we trade higher, or fill it and then keep on trading lower to break the 18K downwards. Very interesting times, very interesting price action. Now, yes, it's boring, but like usually after this big, massive movements like this, you will get a couple of weeks, a couple of boring weeks or days. So short term bullish, short term bearish, and next of course we'll we'll see what happens next, but let's take it from here. For Ethereum, the exact same thing. Weekly time frame, we can see that we are currently trading inside this bearish channel. We had a nice run upward. Now it is a very interesting time. We got two possible scenarios. The first one is if we have a higher low, so if we trade higher from here, it would be an early alert that the bulls might be taking over. Of course, if the bulls hold, right? Because previously we had a higher high and then we made the next impulse movement downwards. Okay, so to me, the best case scenario is if you go lower from here and then like this would be it. Okay, because like in my opinion, like we should go a little bit more downward for maximum pain before we start a fresh new start. Okay, a fresh new bullish trend. But of course, let's let's keep it as technical as possible. Like it doesn't really matter what I believe or what I think or like what I wish, right? So this is basically it. I don't really like how the past couple of weeks were boring, just like Bitcoin, right? You can see, check the whole chart, right? This is the only time where we had this much consolidation. Okay, so expect expect this like manipulation here because like orders from around this area and around this area has not been filled for a while, right? And the more time passes, the more orders like you will have right here, okay, and right here, of course. Okay, so let me say hi, Jackie. Hope you're doing good. MC. Wow, we've got many members. Rose. I said hi. I said hi to Sonjak. I guess yes, but anyway, hi again, Sonjak. And yeah, and Tipser guy. Hope you're doing good. These are the new ones. Okay, okay. El Fabiani, right? Super TA. Thank you so much. I guess you're watching on YouTube. That's why. That's what the bot said. Um, okay, you're more than welcome. Like now, after Ethereum, we'll go over like the remaining ones. So starting from NWC here, feel free to ask your questions, request a specific altcoin, and so on. Okay, so like this would be phase two. It would be for you to ask questions. But for now, let's finish Ethereum first. Okay, as mentioned previously, just like Bitcoin, we are boring inside this movement. I don't really like how or where Ethereum is currently at. I would prefer, as I mentioned previously, to be broken downwards to test this lower bound of this channel, and then I'll be looking for buy stops here because I don't really like to look for buy stops here. And even though you can see it here, I got many alerts, right? But like the best area for me to look for buy stops would be around this area, around 1K or like starting from 1.1K. That's why you can see also my alerts here because that's a demand zone, right? Because I don't like the consolidation because even if we trade higher from here, we will be facing what? The upper trend line here in purple, okay, which might drive the price lower from here, and also a horizontal support and resistance, and also a 1.5K round number. So I don't really like a movement higher from here. And if it happens, be very careful. And even if you break above these highs, okay, we still got many things holding it back, holding it down, okay? So unless we have this entire break, then yes, the bulls would take over for a bullish movement. Then 2K like would be our next resistance. And of course, we got a minor one here around 1.8K, but we'll have a bullish movement from here if and only, sorry, if we break above the 1.5K. Meanwhile, we are stuck inside the range, right? And just like Bitcoin, which you can see here, okay, inside this range. And if we trade lower, we'll face the support. If we break it downward, we'll be trading lower till the 1.1K. And if we trade higher, that's why you see these alerts here. I want to know when we go lower. I want to know when we break this one. I want to know when we also break, here we go, above this one right here, which you can see is minor support and resistance, multiple rejections from. I don't care about this, okay? Like, even though it's sorry, okay, even though it's the last minor high, I don't really care about it. I care about this one here, which is like holding the price up and downward multiple times. In this case, if this happens, we'll be expecting a bullish move, but not for so long because we've got this one right here, which you can see also from M30, that's it. And also a minor one here. So like as you see, weird price action inside the range. It's not the best, like the best area. Okay, like to look for setups. That's why I would like it to go down around this area. Would be a good area to look for buy stops, unless of course it's broken downward and so on. So that's basically it. Now we are on phase 2. Let me know in the members talk, or it depends on where you are watching, on YouTube or any platform, in the comments. I'll be able to see it here as well. If you have any questions, if you want to go over a specific like a specific instrument, we've got like a whole 30 minutes to answer your questions, to go over chart analysis as much as you want. Okay. Okay, I'll keep an eye on the members talk. Meanwhile, since we don't have any questions so far,